We're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Christy, will you start with the
Right. Father in heaven, Lord, we just thank you for your grace and mercy in our lives. We thank you for the blessings that you shower upon us. Father, we just thank you for this opportunity to get together to do the county's business. And we pray, Father, that you would guide good stewards of what you've entrusted us with. And Lord, we just ask for your blessings and protection over our first responders. And we give all the praise to you, Lord, in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could you do roll call, please?
Councilor Steele. Here. Councilor Culp. Here. Councilor Norrick.
Present.
Councilor Likens.
Here.
Councilor Grabowski.
Here.
Councilor Keller.
Present.
President Green.
Okay, the approval of minutes. Has everybody had an opportunity to look over the January 14th minutes? Can I have a motion, please? So moved. Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That passes. The approval of the agenda tonight. Is there any questions about that? Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? I don't have any comments because I'm not the president. Okay, auditors report.
Good evening, Council. Regarding your agenda, there were two updates, and I've already made them on your current copy, but if you're working off the original copy, there'll be slight changes. One is under new business with the update on Purdue Extension impact in Madison County. Jessica is ill, so we're going to move her to the March meeting. The other one was under new money and the general fund, the sheriff jail. He withdrew his request for appropriations for refunds that he got, so I took those off your agenda too. As you know, I've been sending out information to the council, and I just wanted to tell you briefly that I really appreciate the feedback that I've gotten, and anything that you need, just let me know, and I'll try to get it to you so you can make good decisions. I do want to make you aware of action of the Finance Board in Madison County. In January, they changed the investment policy, and then the commissioners passed an ordinance on the 21st of January establishing a capital asset and improvement fund, fund number 4976. The reason I'm going to make you aware of tonight is that the interest income that we've been receiving in the general fund is going to be diverted into that capital asset and improvement fund, so it will affect your budgeting. I'm going to go over some of that now if I can get the TV to come on. What I have on the screen is the cash flow spreadsheet for the general fund for 2025. You've seen this already for 2024, and I'll send this to you so you have it as well. But what I've done is I've adjusted the numbers in the receipts. These all other receipt column. I've reduced the amount in each month going forward of that interest that's going to be diverted into that capital improvement fund. So you'd be able to see the implications of the general fund. What I want to bring your attention to is in May, right now we're going to be $1.5 million short. And then at the end of the year, you're going to be at $8,012,000. If you look at where we come in the year, we're beginning the year at $11,223,068. And ideally, we'd like this number and this number to to be very similar. You know, you don't want to be spending more money than you're bringing in. So I just wanted to make you aware of the change. We didn't anticipate this change at budget season, and it didn't occur until January, the change. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. If we need to, we can take a tax anticipation advance. You'll see that we also took an advance last year in April. If you look at the property tax line, we could do the same thing and get through this short time. So I don't think it'll be a problem getting through on the general fund as long as we're careful with appropriations going forward. If you remember last month, I told you that the biggest thing we need this balance here for, the beginning balance, is to get through this bottleneck here where property taxes come in. Generally, we settle in June, and so that's when all these lines come in right here. Property tax, license, excise, fit, and CVAT. Same thing in December. You'll see those 4 lines filling in there to get your totals. So as long as we have a healthy balance coming into the year, we can make it to the property tax settlement and cash flow the general fund. The reason we have to be concerned about this is, as we've discussed before, multiple departments run out of the general fund, and it's our job, the council's and the auditor's job, to manage that cash flow to make sure that we can sustain those budgets. Like I said, I don't think we'll have a problem. We'll just keep an eye on it as we're going through, and I'll keep sending you these spreadsheets so you can see it too. I think that's all the information I had for you this evening.
Does anybody have any questions for the auditor? Okay,
Thank you.
guys. Okay, old business, we're gonna talk a little bit tonight about the legal counsel. Diana sent us a spreadsheet, of the different ones that, she researched and so forth. And then, Christy sent us an additional one that, she came across. Have you guys had an opportunity to review all this?
Yes.
Any discussion? Thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts, I've gone through all the info. I've gone through most of the info that Christy sent. I do have a couple questions, which, do you want to talk first about what you know before I say my question? Because you may be able to answer.
Well, I spoke with the gentleman at the chapel and asked him, because he emailed us this explanation and his proposal, but it's not in as much detail because he doesn't have exactly what it is we need. He wants to make sure he tailors the proposal to what our needs are. So he just didn't have time to do that because I didn't even talk to him. It was a late Thursday before I got information to be able to get it to him. And so he just didn't have time to get that together and to know specifically what it is, what our needs are. So he offered when I spoke with him today to, because he sent the information about what his hourly rate is and just some, like an overview of what the fee would be, the fees would be. And if we felt comfortable, especially with his experience, and what he brings to the table. If we felt comfortable enough to go ahead and if we chose to go with him, to start with just basing on the hourly fee that he gave us and then speak with us in more detail to get a better idea of what kind of fee we could do just monthly and then, get all the details hashed out that way. So I don't know if that answers your questions or not.
Yeah. I think that I personally don't feel comfortable just going with them without knowing all the details ahead of time.
Can you speak into the mic? We can't hear you. Thank you so much.
I don't feel comfortable.
Is his on?
No.
I don't think it's working.
Can you hear me better now? How about now?
Thank you.
Okay. I just don't feel comfortable going with him without having all the information that we have comparatively. So, my thought, and you can tell me what your guys' thoughts are, is asking ones who we currently have information from to come in and just tell us about themselves, tell us about, in person what their experience is, so we can get to kind of know the people that come in, and including Daniel, and that could be something we look for next week. Maybe even if they can't do that, decide it's just not gonna work out, that'll give him an extra week to get back with us. The same comparable information, I would feel personally a lot more comfortable making a decision if we have all that. That's kind of
I think we've had a month, we've had all the information. Diana did a lot of interviewing and calling. We've had information to call. I believe that Todd Brown is incomplete, doesn't give us a good comparison. There's 4 good proposals we have here. All 4 have good backup attorneys, which is very good, having medium to larger firms to pull upon. I think we have 4 good candidates to consider tonight, and I could support either one of those 4 that we put together. One thing I did ask Diana, and then she had to point me to an email that was sent earlier in January. I overlooked it. KGR that currently provides us legal counsel is at the $2,000 per month. They provide roughly 5 hours of work through the month. There's also some little details. If we had a quick 5 or 10 minute call, they don't charge us for those and the other work. And these are very comparable with the dollar amount and 5 to 6 hours per month. Pretty common. What I remember going through this 3 years ago, and actually we got a better pool of candidates than we did 3 years ago. I don't see anything that would cause me concern to hire any one of these 4 should we decide tonight with the council.
Well, and I don't disagree. We have a lot of options here. Just that this one came kind of late notice on our radar, and just the experience that he has to offer and being that connection with the LGF and his background. And did you see his biography?
Yeah, attorneys don't help us with the budget.
Yeah, I know.
We
But
all have guidance. I mean, if we get emails on the auditor, probably knows as much about every minute that things are due. And that's not the job of the attorney to tell us when things are due.
Right. I understand that.
I don't think it hurts to wait 1 week personally to get one more person. I think that has done a phenomenal job, getting us the information we have. But I don't think it hurts at all having one more person.
Then are you proposing that we hold this off until next month to go out? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I think the best thing, in my opinion, and it's okay if we disagree, would be to wait till next month. I know that would mean we don't have legal counsel available to us next month, but I think we can make a more informed decision next month. It's just,
What's going to be different if we just take time?
I just think it's better to have 5 options than 4. And right now we have 4.5, just due to the time constraint that our last option was put on. I think he could be a good addition to the council, a good tool, but doesn't mean we'll go with it, but it gives us one other option. It's just my opinion.
Any other thoughts?
I wish we had a little bit more time. I know that's where we are right now.
I guess I don't really know what we do have 4, and I think each of these 4 bring with them a multitude of experience in this exact area. One included an example of training. Each of us is different. I think that's an important aspect. There's one firm that includes training free of charge. Did anyone make any phone calls? Because I know I did.
I called the references for the last one that provided references, and they had a lot of positive.
Okay, so yes, the Snyder and Clutter. Yes, I called them as well, and I made. If anybody has questions, I'm sure Christy can answer. And I made notes of the people with whom I spoke and what their comments were. I guess they just range from the $1,500 a month you don't necessarily get so many hours. The last one could be the most flexible. And one charges mileage to meetings, but most of them don't.
Yeah,
So I don't think it matters their location, yeah. I guess I don't have any problem with waiting. On one hand, if you wait, we could argue, oh gosh, I could find 3 more people if we wanted to wait another 2 months. You know, we do have 4 that seem to be capable, but if everyone else is in agreement that they want to wait, I have no real problem with that. I do think we've put it off long enough, and I think that we could make a good decision this evening. But I'm not opposed to that. Are you saying that you want them to come to the meeting?
I think that would be great if they could. If they can't, I understand. People are busy. Lawyers have jobs.
Right. May I ask a question to our attorney? Yeah. Okay. Would that be something that is usual or?
I don't think it'd be particularly unusual.
Okay.
Might be a little awkward if you all have them all here at the same time. But yeah.
Okay.
Another option is to, I know in the past that they've done this, probably before Rob's time even, where they've had maybe a committee of 3 council members set up a time to meet with, or either virtual or in person with the attorneys, ask them to set up certain set of questions that they want to ask them, and then come back and report to the council who they feel was probably the best choice maybe.
Be similar to our personnel committee recommendation or gathering the information.
So I guess at this point, I need a motion or something from somebody.
I make a motion that we wait till next month to make a decision with more information.
And how do you propose that information? How do you see that happen?
I think that just being able to in particular get more information from Daniel would give us a more clear comparison.
Give an apples to apples comparison.
So you're just wanting more information than, not necessarily setting up a time to meet with each of them.
I think that, we can call each one of them, but I think that just a little more time to get to explore this last option would be beneficial. I don't think more information than this.
So your motion is that you'd like to table this till next month and that you'd like to get more information from Mr. Shackle, before we make a decision next month.
Yeah, and if we can have the attorneys come, great. To me personally, that doesn't.
That part of your motion, we're getting away from the motion.
I need to know exactly
The
what
motion in a second before we have
I need to know
discussion.
exactly what the motion is and what you perceive going forward, how you see this moving forward.
I make a motion that we invite the attorneys here to speak and also give us an extra month to get the rest of the information from Daniel and then proceed with the vote next month.
Second.
I second tabling it till next month, but I think I agree it'd be kind of awkward to have that discussion, to have everybody here together and then trying to make that decision with everybody present. Might, I don't know.
So a second or an amendment to the,
Yes. I amend that I make a motion that we amend.
you could just not second and have your own motion to table and conduct your own follow-up.
I will second Christie's motion. Okay, so we don't have a second on Jonathan's motion, so that fails. We have a second motion on the table, which was Christie's motion, which was seconded by Bethany. So we need to take a vote on that. All in favor, let's do a roll call vote,
Can
please.
you restate the question, please?
So Christie.
My motion is just that we table, making a decision tonight until next month's meeting so we can get a complete, proposal from this 5th option and have a spreadsheet with apples to apples comparisons.
Roll call vote, please.
Counselor Steele,
No.
Counselor Cole,
Yes.
Counselor Likens,
Yes.
Counselor Grabowski,
Yes.
Counselor Keller,
Yes.
Vice President Norrick.
Yes. Okay, so we will table that till next month. And Chrissy, will you please reach out to, Mr. Shacklin to get that? Thank you. Okay, next is out-of-state travel, for IT for Lisa, but, I heard Lisa was, not doing, she's sick. She's herself. Oh, you're here.
I'm here for Lisa.
Oh, okay, sorry, I did not
Yeah, that's
take that.
okay. Lisa has 3 people that's traveling to San Antonio, Texas for the Tyler Technology Conference. Tyler Technology is the software used, company used that mainly is New World Public Safety. Also, Odyssey with the courts and Eagle that is used at the health department. They're going to send 3 people. I think dispatch is covering one of those employees going, and IT will cover the other 2. It's a cost of $3,000 per person estimated to attend that conference, including airfare, hotel, and conference fees. She's unable to make it today. So.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, that passes.
Thank you.
Next is transfers, so Sheriff.
Good evening, council. What you have is the administrative staff. We've been going through line by line all of our pay and trying to get everybody corrected. We had different dates of employment from the HR department, from our records, and so we finally got everybody on the right time frame. We had to make adjustments to their longevity or matrix, whatever you want to call that, and that's what these transfers are. They're coming from lines that we had excess and putting it into the right pay line for the employee.
So some of them that we transferred last month got put into the wrong lines.
Right, because we had the wrong dates, yes. And that's both on the sheriff's side and the jail side. I'd say there's 2 of them here.
We make the transfers as presented from the jail and the sheriff's department.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, that passes. Thank you.
Thank you, council.
Next is new money. We have the surveyor's office.
Transfer also.
Did I miss one? I am so sorry. How did I miss that?
It's a transfer, not a new money.
No, it's still.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Yes. Yes, you're up. I just said the wrong thing. It's not a new money, it's transfer.
Good evening, council.
New money's late.
Yes. I'm asking to transfer 500 from perpetual 1202, line item 2200, to a new item of line item 16500 for uniform maintenance. What it's for is when they go out and they walk the creek lines out in the fields, they tear their jeans. We don't give them the boots. We don't give them the tools to do their job. I'm asking to just move $500 from one account to another so we can take care of that.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Second?
Second?
All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, that passes. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Smock, Properties Manager?
Hi.
Hello.
We're just asking to move money. It's for the Star Bank building. Just move money into each line. That way, in case we have to do anything over there, there's money in that for like paintbrush, whatever. And we might not even use it.
Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I knew this. Did anybody have any discussion? Okay, sorry.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, okay, okay. That passes.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, now new money. Okay, so I've got the surveyor first.
Good evening again. I'm asking for $10,000 from line 1217. And it's the electric, for county elected officials for training. In the past, the last 8 years, there was no money ever given to the surveyor's office. The money's already there. It's not asking for new money in the general fund. It's going to go from line 1217 to 39006, which is my account. Any constitutional office, which you guys also have it yourself. Mine goes into 39006. I need 15 hours of ed this year and 40 hours in the next 3 years. It's not required by the state. It's highly recommended, and they're going to regulate it within the near future. If we don't get it, then I don't know what the outcome would be at that point. So I have the training schedule that I believe that I'm going to go to for the rest of the year. There might be one in there that I have other dates that will get me the hours I need so I can get the tools and training that I need, and also network so I can do a better job in the surveyor's office for you.
Make a motion to approve?
A second. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? If not, then can we have a vote, please? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, next is Randy Frazier from Soil and Water.
Good evening. You didn't think you'd see me back so soon, huh? This is just for the appropriation for our grant funded position. When I did the budget for this year, I didn't have that grant yet, so I just did the regular 32,000 that we already had in it. We got the grant, it's $40,000 for the pay, so I'm just appropriating the 8,000.
Make a motion.
Second? Discussion? I do have a question, Randy.
Sure.
So I was looking at the 4910 fund, at the end of the year last year, you had $4,357.75 in there. We budgeted for 25, we budgeted, $39,599 for that position. Is that sound right?
I thought I only did 32,000, but
Like, oh my
I didn't
gosh,
bring it.
But I thought it was that, and I know that year-to-date receipts last year, the total amount we received, and I'm assuming that was just from the grant, unless there's other monies that are flowing into this fund, was $30,584.95.
so we didn't get the grant until this year.
Okay.
So the previous money that's ever came out of that has been Soil and Water's money
Okay.
that we've put in for that employee.
Okay.
And she was only part-time
Okay.
after COVID. Like before COVID, we had a full-time position, but then we lost that. So when we hired after COVID, she's been part-time. But so when we had originally opened that, or well, not originally, but when I appropriated that money after COVID, when I hired somebody, I just left it the same because I didn't want to have to come back and keep appropriating more if we ended up going over that 32,000. Does that answer your question?
Well, kind of. So how much is the grant for?
The grant's for 120,000.
Okay.
So we're doing 40,000 a year. That's just the base pay. And then the commissioners are picking up the benefits.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because when I was looking at the numbers, it didn't look like we were gonna have enough funds in there to cover her salary with
Yeah.
asking for an additional 8, so I just wanted to make sure.
She also took a 2-month vacation when she thought she was gonna go work somewhere else, and she didn't. She came back. But, so that's part of the reason that some of that was left in there. We didn't, I kept the money going in there, so I knew when she came back that we had enough to finish out the end of the year until the grant money came.
Okay,
So that's probably why it looks like not quite even.
Well, I just wanted to make, the grant's more than enough to cover the salary, so
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure, that's what I was seeing on this from last year.
Perfect.
So we have we had a first and a second on that. Is there any other discussion? We have, vote please, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Why did you stay for that salary ordinance?
Here's have a great evening. Okay, next is recycling, Ms. Keesley. Hi. Thanks.
Asking for $3,000 new money for new equipment. I'm wanting to purchase a bulb eater, which shreds bulbs and saves 50% of the shipping costs of what it costs to ship light bulbs. It also reduces the labor by 20 hours for 1,500 bulbs. So and I certainly have that many bulbs. We do have the money.
Do I have a motion? Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay, that passes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next is the health department, Ms. Mellinger.
Good evening, Steph Mellinger, Health Department. I am asking for an appropriation for a grant for the state hazmat team, or it's a state grant, but it is 2 pieces of equipment. It's an equipment grant, equipment grant for collaboration between the hazmat team, Health Department, Emergency Management, and the Sheriff's Department. 2 pieces of equipment. The first one is a robot, and the second one is a spectroscopy identifier, which identifies explosives, narcotics, toxic industrial chemicals, and they can be used together.
Do I have a motion? Second? Second. Any discussion? If all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next is the prosecutor.
Ben Gale, I'm the director of the High Tech Crime Unit, standing in tonight. We are requesting new money appropriation from a grant we received through the Edward Byrne Memorial JAG grant. Total amount is $125,812. It's broken down $90,740 into other services and charges, which I believe there were some questions about. That's primarily all of our software, pretty much all the software licenses that we use to process cell phones, laptops, all of the digital evidence that we deal with. I can answer more specific questions if there are any, or I can leave it at that.
First, let's take get a motion on the floor. Do you have a second?
Second.
Now is there any discussion or questions? What's the machinery that you're using?
The machinery is a network scanner for crime scenes, basically. Without getting into too much detail about how that works. As well as a chip-off station that's to remove microchips from damaged, like a blown-up device, cell phone. If you're trying to remove the data off of it, we're building a station to do all of that.
So we had a first and a second. All in favor, signify by saying yes.
Yes.
See, I see you guys are paying attention. All opposed? Okay, that passes.
Thank you.
Okay, next is the juvenile probation. Tracy, how are you?
Tracy Lane, Chief Probation Officer for Juvenile Probation. We're asking for appropriations for $38,500. We received a performance grant as part of our JDAI grant. And that money will go towards purchasing tablets for our detention center. At the youth center, we have 20 tablets we have a quote for. Those will allow the students back there to work on extra schoolwork. We're going to build in an incentive program for them so that they can have access to age-appropriate, correctionally approved music. games. They'll be able to have voice calls with their parents more frequently. They'll be able to contact their attorneys, mental health providers, probation officers, all through that app. There's several other aspects to it that I can go into if you're interested, or I can send an email. But it's all for the youth in detention to be able to provide some additional services and interventions for them.
Do I have a motion? A second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now we are to public hearing time, new money. We have Veterans Affairs.
Good evening, David Herbert, Veterans Affairs. What we're requesting is to rebalance a pay line, $15,000. Last year and in March, I requested the $3,280 to bring this line up to $3,380 to bring this line up to $20,280. When we did the budget, the pays were not discussed at my level. I'd submitted for the $20,280, but it appeared to look like it was a raise from the previous year, and it was removed. So rather than having my guy take a furlough, I just want to bring his line back up to what it was actually approved for throughout the year last year.
So we had passed this last year.
Yes, in March.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a motion? Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
So, I went back and looked at this, and we did approve the pay increase last March, and then when you submitted the budget, it wasn't in there, and we approved what was submitted dollar for dollar, and now we just need to correct it, so we're not actually giving a new pay raise in February. This is just correcting where it should be for this employee. But then moving forward, you'll have to request this addition. So like when we correct it, it will only affect this year's budget. And then when you submit the budget
For next year,
next year, you'll have to remember to.
I did. I actually don't submit them. It all goes to Tom Eckert. I don't have access to that. So when the council said no pay raises, everything was reverted to the 2024 originally approved budget. So I've requested to have this 2025 approved budget to be annotated as being corrected to being $20,280. So when I put it in there, it doesn't get removed again.
Well, and I noticed it said we paid out $20,280 last year, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he monitors his hours completely. So he's a great asset to the Veterans Affairs. And so I really don't want to have to furlough him.
All right, we have a first and a second. We do need to do public comment. Is there anybody that wants anything? Okay, and if that's the case, we'll take a vote on that. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank you. See you Thursday.
Yep.
Man, grass.
Next is court administration.
They won't be here this evening, but this was just a simple juggling of longevity money in between departments. And I think I told you before, it has to be unappropriated and appropriated because it's in different departments. We will, I'll tell you now, we'll also have cleanup for next month for countywide. It's just that Brittany Hall is really on top of it. So
I need a motion.
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Any public comment? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. All right, guys, we are at the very end of the meeting almost. All right, so our first one first one is salary ordinance 2025-2C. It's the sheriffs in the jail, where we removed that longevity. Gosh, I haven't done this with it. So we don't take a motion, we just.
No, we still do take a motion in a second, but if it's unanimously approved by all those present,
Okay,
we
really
don't
got
have to have a second reading. We do not have to have a roll call vote unless requested.
Okay, so, okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Let's go ahead and just do roll call vote on that, if you would please.
Councilor Steele.
Yes.
Councilor Colt.
Yes.
Councilor Likens.
Yes.
Councilor Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilor Keller.
Yes.
Vice President Norrick.
Yes. Okay, passes. All right, the second one is salary ordinance 2025-2B, and that is for the county surveyor's cornerstone perpetuation fund. And I was a little sidetracked by this one, but then Todd gave us an explanation that the uniform maintenance is part of a benefit, and so it looks as a salary, so we have to do a salary ordinance for it. Do I have a first? Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second? Okay, let's do roll call vote.
Councilor Steele.
Yes.
Councilor Colt.
Yes.
Councilor Likens.
Yes.
Councilor Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilor Keller.
Yes.
Vice President Norrick.
Yes. Okay, that passes. The next one is salary ordinance 2025-2E, which is soil and water, for the $40,000, that district coordinator. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second? Roll call vote, please.
Councilor Steele.
Yes.
Councilor Colt.
Yes.
Councilor Likens.
Yes.
Councilor Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilor Keller.
Yes.
Vice President Norrick.
Yes. The next one is salary ordinance 2025-2F, Veterans Affairs, for the $20,280 for the part-time position there. Do I have a motion to approve? Second? Roll call vote, please.
Councilor Steele.
Yes.
Councilor Colt.
Yes.
Councilor Likens.
Yes.
Councilor Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilor Keller.
Yes.
Vice President Norrick.
Yes. And the last one is salary ordinance 2025-2G, which is the longevity changes within the court administrator, totaling $10,725, and then reducing a couple. So do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilor Steele.
Yes.
Councilor Colt.
Yes.
Councilor Likens.
Yes.
Councilor Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilor Keller.
Yes.
Vice President Norrick.
Yes. Okay, that takes care of our salary ordinances. Next is our public comment. I have David Sargent.
Hello, David Sargent, 609 Amy Lane. So I have two questions if the council would answer. Todd Colt mentioned that some of the interest money would be going over to capital fund rather than the general fund. My question was being, does the council still exercise control over the monetary of the capital fund?
I'm not sure the answer.
That would be one to the auditor if you can't answer that or would like to.
It is directed by the commissioners, but I'm sure that council will have to appropriate it.
Okay, that was one question. Thank you very much. Like I said, I'm still learning. It's only been a year. And the other question is on the County Elected Training Fund 1217, would also the coroner's office be included in that as a constitutional office?
I don't know the answer to that. I'd have to look at the code to see if the coroner's included in
That's
it.
fairly new, isn't it? Auditor Colt, is that fairly new that,
No, it's been there.
I mean, the fund isn't new, but it's open up to more elected
It's not new,
officials.
It's starting to open up. Last year they added the county council.
Okay, so if that could be answered, because I am in contact now with Adam Madison, stating our wishes in our group that he attend at least one of the national conventions, because he is a new coroner, to see what all he needs to do to bring Madison County into the future. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. We'll look into that. Okay, next is Jim Bauer. No? Okay. I'm sorry, I can't read this.
Anyone sign third?
He's
Anyone
waiting.
sign F?
Okay.
Jim?
I think Dee Dee might have signed in.
Oh, okay. Okay, I can't read it. Okay, and the last one is Cheryl McKay.
I have nothing, thank you.
Okay, well, if there's nothing else to come before us, then I need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying yes.
Yes.
She didn't ask about no.
I can't say no.
Just remember these short meetings, when all this time. 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
He is, yes, he is.
You got an advocate on getting the training done, because I lobbies every day.
Well, they just, yes. It's just while they're in session, so, and then they come back and get so, yes.
We're just seeing this one more month. The big.
No, it was, no,
I think Ted was Indian. Animal stuff.
Oh, okay. We're trying a different approach. I thought you were trying something different. So we're trying, but it also goes on YouTube and Twitter and all that. So with all this corruption, our hope is that maybe somebody at the higher level will see this and come into this county and do it. So that's why I decided to go bigger. Somebody needs to come.
I know, that's exciting.
I didn't know how it was going. I remember you talking about something.
Back at the redevelopment commission meeting, they didn't.
Sorry?
Back at the redevelopment commission, they didn't vote on this, right? I think they said they wanted to.
So the two things that they were,
We were talking about the letter and everything that's going on.
they all got taken.
So we'll start that.
For them and the city council to consider the money.
Because I think that, that's an interesting thing going on. All the money there that's going on there.
Well, they, it's kind of surprised that they actually expanded their project.
Yeah, so, but, yeah, they always table the interesting stuff. I think they wait till I go on vacation and they table it, so that I'm not here when they do it.
I hear you. I hear you.
I don't know what they did, but apparently
Did Lisa go on?